Anything? Are we on? I
Yeah, we're
guess it
on.
started. It didn't play our opening for some reason. Who cares? Who needs it? Hi, everybody. Welcome to Watch What Crappens. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben over there. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Good. Both pretty hairy today. Growing out your facial hair over there. Getting a little goatee
I know.
action.
I got to shave. It's actually itching. That's when I know it's time to shave, is when it itches.
Yeah, a little itchiness. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Happy Monday. We do our final show in Los Angeles Thursday night, covering the Valley. We're super excited. Come check us out in LA. It's the end of our Mounting Hysteria tour. We are also doing Love Island recaps every day that we record, which is 3 or 4 times a week over on our Patreon. The latest one just went up for a very crazy episode of Love Island last night. Go check that out. If you want videos of all our recaps, just join us on Patreon as well. Or you can get them free a week later over on our YouTube channel. Just search Watch What Crappens in YouTube. How you feeling today, buddy?
Feeling great. I'm so excited. I'm really excited for our show on Thursday. Like really, really, really excited. And I'm like, honestly, Love Island was so good last night that I've just been kind of like riding that high. Oh, also, we're going to be on Julia Cunningham's show tomorrow on Radio Andy.
Yes.
So keep an ear out for that on SiriusXM.
And also, we are on the Big Flop today. We did a Jen Shaw episode with Misha. So go check that out. The Big Flop. Jen Shaw. We're all over the place. We're just like all over the place.
All over.
You know where else I appeared this week?
Where?
Nordstrom Rack. There's a Nordstrom Rack over in NoHo West. I didn't even know NoHo West was a thing, but it's like this place with the Nordstrom Rack. So I went there. It was amazing.
Where is that? Is NoHo West the thing that's like on like where that Macy's was, like Laurel Canyon and
it's Laurel Canyon.
Yeah, they redeveloped all that. I haven't been to it since
really
it's been
nice
redeveloped.
Nordsies. Wow. So I was there yesterday. Hi, everybody.
You're
so
so
today is Real Housewives of Atlanta. I loved this episode. I think this was one of the best episodes of the seas. And I have to say, I think it's because the energy of the OGs was great. Portia, Cynthia, and Phaedra opening this, just gossiping in their room was fucking hilarious. And I think
I agree 100%. It's like not that so much even happened this episode. They just were being really funny. Like the vibe, the chit chat amongst the ladies was very funny. I do think that like Phaedra is actually working out pretty well in just in terms of that she's funny and she's having all these key moments with the OGs. There is just a really strong energy there, and it's just becoming more and more apparent how like useless Britt is amongst all this. Even Kelly is somehow coming to life a little bit more. So I totally agree. Not much happened, but like great vibes.
Yeah, it was funny. So they were talking about, we opened with them in the morning talking about the night before, how it was Housewives Gone Wild. And they all got shit-faced, basically. And Phaedra's like, well, somebody's probably pregnant. I might have gotten Cynthia pregnant, for all I know. Cynthia got me pregnant. And then we see Grenada, Chapter 3, Rebirth.
Yes. And so now Drew and Angela are talking about last night. And Drew is like, I've just been waiting for this vacation. Like that moment, that's just what I've been waiting for this whole time. I felt like the first time all vacation where it was just, we were all laughing, having an amazing time, drinking, turning up. Everyone was twerking. It was like we were having a dinner party and there was no one crazy in the basement at the same time. Oh, what a wonderful feeling.
And Angela's like, yeah, we had so much fun, but, I know Britt and her monologue that lasted 30 minutes, which I've been thinking about all week, Britt's monologue. Like, I love you, Namia. We are like sisters. We are soulmates. We have been best friends for 30 years, and I want you to remember that. And she's like, and I think she was coming from a good place, but then I made the mistake of looking at your ass, and Drew's like, what did I do? What? And then we see Drew just kind of giving her the side eye, like, what the fuck is this chick on, man?
Yeah. And then like Drew is like, we come back and she goes, and they say, I'm the actress. I mean, well, somebody else got me beat because what we saw last night. I'm like, of course, leave it to Drew Sidora to somehow diss her own career. She's like, I mean, I'm clearly not a good actress. Like, don't tell that that's your career. Okay. Don't tell the casting directors.
Like, oh, she took center stage. A round of applause. So they're making fun of that. And she's like, are they about to tongue kiss? And she's like, I was like, are you attacking Shamia? Like, what's happening here? And she's like, Angela says, what I thought was interesting is that I didn't even realize that her and Kelly weren't that close. And then they start talking about the dinner where Britt was left on an island over the charity conversation when Kelly was like, yeah, you should give more to charity. Dun, dun, dun. Are they even really friends?
Kelly's the same girl who jumped on me when Britt and I had our words, so something isn't right. I mean, they're not speaking, they're not close, they're not laughing. My spidey senses are jumping right now. So they definitely feel like, wait a second, aren't these two supposed to be like besties? Why was Kelly not supporting Britt last night?
Yeah.
Something is up.
So Shamia FaceTimes her mom about the kid, like, how's the kid? How's Shiloh? And she's like, well, the baby was freezing. We got her out of the crib. She was shaking. She was so cold. And then she's like, and then what about the nanny? And she's like, oh, the nanny was at the North Pole. She had on like a heating blanket and a bikini. She was just fine.
Yeah. So Shamia is saying how she gets so anxious because anytime Shiloh gets sick, she often winds up going to the hospital, and she's like a lot, and she's just going to try to enjoy her trip. So now we go over to Cynthia and Portia, and Portia has this enormous hat that has it was
a
shag carpeting
hat.
It was just like a giant hat with like carpet on top, and she's showing it off to Cynthia. And she's like, "This is my look." And Cynthia's like, when are you gonna wear that hat?" She goes, "I'm gonna take pictures downstairs with it." She's like, "Okay, wow, that's a lot." So she basically asked her if she's talked with Shamia and checked in on her and stuff like that.
Yeah. So then Cynthia comes over. Cynthia's already there. So Phaedra comes over and she's like, "It's me." And she's like, "Well, girl, can you stand on your tippy toes? I can't see you in the door hole." She's like, "I'm not strawberry shortcake." Okay, listen, I've been trying to play that TV so many times, it won't even work in my room. I need to see a murder as I go to sleep. A good crime show. I like to see people get murdered and then people running around trying to figure out who did it. My mom, I've told you this story, but my mom can only go to sleep with horror movies playing or Lifetime movies, and it's so fucking disturbing. Every time I go home and stay at my mom's house, oh my God, it's like 2 a.m. and you just hear from her room. It freaked me out the first time I was home years ago because I just hear, it's like top volume. This like lady's getting their asses murdered. It's the only way she can go to sleep. It's sick. It's sick.
Oh my God, that's very intense for me. Like I'm so impressed that your mom can watch all those movies because I can't even watch like a scary trailer, like let alone a movie or anything like that. Like
to be able to watch them is one thing, but to need them to go to sleep is just, it's like a whole kind of trauma can. I don't even want to open it. I think it's too late to even open it. Where does this come from? At some point, just watch your damn horror movies, go to sleep with it. I don't care.
So Phaedra is saying, like, last night the girls were so crazy. I mean, like the shot o'clock or whatever was going on. Angela, she gives me school teacher. Like, she teaches math. She's very stern. And then they're like, yeah, like when she asks you something, she's like, here's my question. So Phaedra's like, yes, I know. She was like Barbara Walters last night, all the questions. And I was like, I want to ask you one thing. But by the way, what was going on with Shamia and the donations? I mean, everyone's got a Rolls Royce. I mean, that's not the point. I mean, the African starter kit is a fucking Rolls Royce and AP bust down and some Ferragamos. I mean, if you don't have that, you can't be African, okay? Cynthia's
the African starter kit was hilarious. She's like, why are we acting like a Rolls Royce is a big deal? Come on now.
So Cynthia's like, what's a bust down? And she's like, oh yeah, having like diamonds and everything everywhere. And Phaedra starts saying how, and she's like, in Scamlanta, everybody's got everything. And she starts talking about how there's just like scammers everywhere. And Portia's like, yeah, Scamlanta is like a lot of scammers and Scamolinas out there.
I love that Phaedra's bringing it up because, Phaedra is one of the top Scamolinas in Atlanta. She's always been Shady Faye.
You guys
So
have
I
Juice
love it.
Adore on your cast, so
Yeah. So she's like, well, I get fingerprints and run them through the GBI because, honey, you'll be trick-or-treated in Atlanta, okay? There's more tricking than treating, though. So Portia's like, but it just kept going, and the Britt's getting more upset. You know, she's like a dog with a bone. I mean, you know, they're shading the building. You know, who's shading me? Like, oh, my God.
dog with a bone. Like, was the last episode where Shamia's like, do not call me a dog with a bone.
How
Britt,
dare you?
I was
So
like,
now I'm a
we have to
dog.
drop this metaphor because it's causing a lot of drama amongst these ladies. So, so they're talking about how, you know, this whole thing from last night. And Phaedra's like, I have a little bit of tea. Commercial break. And we're back. Here's the tea. So Britt said the Glam people in Tinkerbell that Tinkerbell hired, they have to go with Tinkerbell or else. And as we suspected, and as we pretty much confirmed last week through the gossip, but as we suspected, all those little scenes earlier in the season were like, something is up. We're spending a little bit too much time with the Glam Squad. And like, why are we finding out that Kelly's just lent a Glam Squad to Britt for the day? Like, why are they giving us this information with no follow-up? It must be seeding something. And here it is.
Here it is. So Phaedra's saying that Kelly doesn't want her using the same Glam Squad as Britt. So then we see clips of the stylists, you know, loaning the stylist out or whatever. So Portia's like, oh my God, finally the season is working. We've got glam drama. Thank God.
And she's like,
I mean, okay, wow, we got drama. I mean, these are the same two that came out in the same pink outfit at my birthday party looking at Ren and Stimpy.
Phaedra's like, they're like fake frickin' frack.
Yeah, so Phaedra's like, there's not a pair of pants in the world that can keep me from my best girlfriend.
So they're basically like, Portia's like, yeah, they like don't speak without each other. Like, it doesn't matter who's talking. Like, they basically finish each other's sentences, and then we see footage of them finishing each other's sentences.
Yeah, and standing up for each other and stuff. And so Portia's like, well, you know, Kelly was very quiet while Shamia and Britt were going at it. And Cynthia's like, yeah, I was like, what's going on with Kelly? She didn't say a word. Well, actually, she did. She just said waffle. I didn't really know what that meant. Glad she got that in there.
I didn't know what it meant, but I leaned into it because I thought I might get a free waffle out of it.
So she's like, yeah, she was making facial expressions, but then for Kelly to hold Britt accountable for that donation. And then we see the flashback where Kelly's like, well, I'm not saying it was the best donation, but if we're going to show up and be that girl, we have to be that girl in all aspects of our lives. I say Rolls Royces for everyone here, every child.
With a waffle on the inside. Do you know I got a waffle iron, by the way?
I'm surprised you didn't have one. That's the big surprise in that news.
Yes, the good people at Cuisinart sent me a little waffle iron, and I have now started to make waffles, and I am now in the full waffle. I'm in my waffle era.
Oh, so you're going to be like waffle influencing now on your Insta?
I don't know if I'm a waffle influencer. I'm under no obligation to be a waffle influencer, but I am doing waffle experiments. I definitely, because we talked last week about waffles and fish. So I did make a waffle and I put pickled herring on it and it was delicious. And so I am now I'm a little waffle. I'm like a little Kelly. I'm now making my own little waffle empire in my place. And I have to say, waffle irons are fun.
Well, congratulations. That's huge. You got sent a waffle iron from Cuisinart. I love that.
I know.
You're on the Cuisinart radar.
Yeah, I don't know. It was very cool. I'm not mentioning it because of Cuisinart. I'm mentioning it because I'm really liking making waffles right now, and I'm expect a lot of waffle stories going forward. That's my little advertisement.
Yeah, putting some art in the Cuisinart.
Yeah.
So they're still talking about what's going on with these two crazies, and Phaedra's like, you know, I mean, I told Britt what she's doing is weird. It's too much, you know. People want fun. They want fun. And she's like, you know, we like fun. We like fantasy. We like dungeons. We like things and drinks. So maybe she was giving us fantasy by showing us her tits because she had an inverted nipple. the other night. They're like, what? She goes, yeah. You know, I said, oh, we got nipple problems. And so she popped it out, and it popped out like a balloon.
And they're like, what? And then Portia turns to Cynthia, goes,
Oh, like your clit.
and Cynthia's like, excuse you? And she's like,
Your clit. You know, the thing in your vagina. You know how that's all inverted, you know, just like your clit.
and she like takes like some cloth and puts it over her face, and she's like, that's not meant for TV.
She's like, oh my God, well, I have a hood. And they're like, a hood? And Phaedra goes, a hood? What is your clit with the KKK? What kind of...
Oh my God. She's
Or
like,
yeah, no,
her clit been getting racially profiled.
so they are like cracking up. And so so then now we go over to Britt heading over to Kelly's villa, and they start to catch up.
So this is awkward. They're doing like the you look rested. Well, I got rest, so... And Kelly's like, well, okay, the night maybe started off a little woo, but, you know, it's a lot of unpacking, you know, in the situation with Shamia, and, oh, that was a lot, but glad that's over. Anyway, I have to go to court. I'm getting divorced, so you can't fight with me right now. And Britt's like,
Okay, I know.
And she's like, yeah, because, you know, we have to go over property things, and it's so depressing, you know, my divorce. She goes, I know. She goes, okay. So I guess we'll talk about last night again, since you're not going to give me a lot of drama about my divorce. So let's go back to that thing.
As someone who's recently divorced from her insurance license, I completely understand.
So Britt then is saying like,
You know, I felt like last night it was like mixed emotions because I just felt from some like it's just different energies, I think. And I think like the part that was just like kind of weird is just like we've always been good. And at the dinner, like we were talking about donations, and I was like, wait a minute, like what's going on?
So she says,
Yeah, you know, like, I mean, when we're around a group, like, you act like I'm a cheap bitch. Like, when I ask you multiple times, tell me what's it about. Like, is it about donating or something else?
and she's like, it is about donating. And look, Shamia just wanted you to show up a little bit more, even at your event. You know, I mean, I took my entire team, and, you know, especially when you say things like, I took my entire real estate team to get plastic surgery. Which I love the comparison. She's like, okay, everybody, send your kids to my office. I'm getting them all BBLs. You just got all these like kids walking around Grenada. They're like, I don't have a house, but I do have a very juicy ass.
yeah. And this was like Kelly's very nice way of saying, if you're willing to give your staff BBLs, you should put in more than $250 and some like toilet paper for charity when you're on a TV show and we're all pulling up. Like, you need to pull up as well. That's our nice way of saying it. Like, I just felt like, you know, what you did. Da, 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 da. So, of course, like, you know, Britt, she says, I feel like, you know, I really want you. I feel like there's a higher purpose for you, which is, I think, such a diplomatic way of saying it. And Britt's like,
Well, for me, it's really not that complicated. I mean, I love that you're so giving and welcoming, but sometimes it's okay for it to just be like, you can just be you, Kelly. And I feel like you use your team and your hair and your makeup as a shield.
so Britt is like turning this around on Kelly when Kelly's basically saying like, you need to like, you're on TV now. Okay. And she's like, okay, well, if you're going to come for me, I'm going to come for you and be like, you're fake and you have all this bullshit. And it's to hide the fact that you're just a fake person.
Yeah, and I kind of get what she's saying, because this Kelly's telling her, like, we're on TV and, like, you need to show up more. And she's like, well, we're on TV and you're doing too much. So I may be doing too little, but you're doing too much. And she's like, well, I don't know. It's weird she's talking about my entourage, but she kind of wants my entourage at the same time. And Britt's like, I don't need a whole team around. She goes, okay, okay. Then why did Britt host an entire meeting with my glam squad behind my back at her home? Dun, dun,
I mean,
dun.
You don't need a whole team. You literally hired like a fake butler for your catered lobster dinner at home. And you just literally got BBLs for your team, your actual insurance team. So you're definitely team oriented. You want people around you. So Kelly is like, you know, I don't mind extending my team until she could find one. But at the same time, it's like, damn, do you want my gynecologist too?
Yeah, and Britt's like, well, she was the one who let me work with her team. She was the one who suggested I work with her team, and then she told them that she doesn't want them working with me. She loaned you her team one time, as far as we've seen. I don't think that meant like, oh my God, you should use the exact same Glam team as me.
Yeah.
So,
and I think that she would be okay with it too if you had a conversation with her being like, you know what, I love Paris. I think I'm sort of I would love to keep working with him. I think I'm gonna reach out and like hire him if that's cool with you. And I'm sure Kelly would have been like, that's great, you know? But like doing it behind the back feels kind of like poachy, you know?
The thing that's funny is that neither of them look great. Paris is not a good stylist. Okay, like I think we can. I think anyone watching this show can agree that these two really don't look like they've been styled that well. So they're fighting over some pretty bad styling.
I don't know why that cracked me up so much. It's just like I wasn't expecting that Paris was going to catch a stray from you in the middle of this. But you might be right.
I don't think anybody's walking away from this season like, you know what? The outfits on Kelly and Britt, wow. Great.
Well, it's also that loop of hair on Kelly's forehead. It's like the little roller coaster, the loop-de-loop.
Yeah, so she's like,
Well, instead of allowing it to be a lesson in front of the whole group, like, I mean, you know, if you're aware of something with Shamia while you're building this relationship, then share it with your close friend, you know? And then we can get past it.
which I kind of agree with her. I mean, Shamia had already gone out with her. They'd already had the discussion with Britt. Then, I mean, they've talked about it a million times, and Shamia was just trying it. Just like, okay, now we're all together, so I'll come for you about the charity again.
Well,
so
but
look, I don't like Britt, but I think that was a little extra of them last week to come for her again.
normally I would say Britt has a little bit of a point here, which is like, hey, Kelly, you know that Shamia is mad at me because I didn't donate enough. You should have given me a heads up and I would have fixed it. But the thing is, what we learned is that Shamia actually took Britt to lunch, probably a free lunch at Houston.
At Houston.
And Shamia already told her, so Kelly doesn't need to tell her on top of that. Like, you should know. And again, I still stick by my own weird theory, which is like, you work in insurance, so you should know how much things cost. And like, what's an appropriate amount to donate. And like, you should just be good with valuations. So now we see Portia and Angela going to the pool, and they're just talking about how nice the pool is and everything. And people start to join them. This is very much a people joining the group episode. We have a lot of like, hey, like people coming out one at a time to different locations. But like, you know, it's just what it is. It's a little bit of a filler episode, not going to lie.
Yeah, and some of the girls went shopping, so they're all dressed the same. Shamia and Kelly, I guess, are wearing like matching swimsuits. And Angela's like, you all got so much time on your hands. Twins? I mean, come on now. And then we see them, Kelly and Britt, wearing matching bright pink from 2 months ago. She's like, that's what we do at our big age.
So more people join. It's shot o'clock. Shots, and dressing the same. And oh my God, more shots. Lots of shots. Nothing that I'm just sort of going through the notes because it's like shots. Everyone's joining. More
Portia
shots.
and Drew are in a better place. Shamia loved the energy. They're all talking about how great of sisters they are. They're all sisters now. Then what is sisterhood? Which I love when they say on Housewives, because that just means they're all about to turn on each other in a grand finale.
Yeah. And they're all just like bonding, like, guys, this is the best group ever. Now we've gotten through the worst part. The fighting is over. We can just be sisters, right? This is the best. And they're like, wait a second, where's Britt? Oh yeah, Britt's not here. They just don't even realize Britt's gone.
Yeah, and they ask Kelly where she is, and she's like, I don't know. And they're like, oh, what's happening with Kelly and Britt? So now the chairman of the Granada Tourism Authority shows up. I'm telling you, Granada's really being nice. I mean, they're just sending everybody out.
They're rolling out the red carpet. They have like every member of the government has come by. I mean, soon we're gonna have like the agricultural department here, Department of the Interior. It's great. So, and by the way, and each one of these like officials is like very attractive, and they're young. So they're like, wow, it's like another. Portia goes, is that another prime minister? God, baby, these ministers are fine out here in Grenada.
Oh, so yeah. He's like, nice to meet you. And Phaedra's like, I'm a hugger. Come here.
Yeah. She goes in and hugs another government official. So
Britt comes down and they introduce her to Randall. And so Kelly is like, oh, this is Randall. Randall's the one that helped with Hurricane Barrel, making sure that we donated. So, Randall, do you have anything to say to Britt? Yeah. Do you have that bucket I gave you? Just hold it out to Britt. Hopefully she'll put some money in there. Yeah, I told you.
Randall, if you had a pleasant time on the toilet this morning, you can thank Britt. She donated that toilet paper and only that toilet paper. Just that
by
roll.
the way, Britt, Beryl wanted to see if he could take you to the Houstons and Grenada to have a talk.
Beryl the hurricane takes Britt to lunch. It's like Beryl's like, look, when I'm a hurricane, it's just like it's in my nature. I destroy everything, and I rely on people like you to fill in the gaps after me. And if you don't do that, you're gonna give me a bad name. Okay.
Do you know how many BBLs I sucked up in the storm? So I'm gonna need you to like replenish.
I am like, people have like a really bad impression of me as a hurricane, but what people don't realize is that I gave like 3 tornadoes a BBL. Okay, because I care about my team.
So later they're going to go to Jab Jab. So he leaves and Phaedra watches him walk off. And she's like, I did date a wonderful man. He was bow-legged. That was impressive. You don't see that anymore. I guess they all started drinking that vitamin D infused milk, child. No one can get the rickets now.
Yeah, and then they just stare at
Phaedra's
him
all
walking
upset.
off.
Phaedra's all upset that people don't have rickets anymore. Is that what bow-legged is?
I don't know what causes.
Here's the thing with
bow-leggedness.
Phaedra. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about half the time, but I laugh 90% of the time that she talks.
I do know that some people really are attracted to men who are bow-legged. I don't
think
know what
that's
the
hot,
story
yeah.
is. I don't know why. Why is that hot? Why? I'm not opposed to it, but I just don't understand why that's like hot versus like muscles. You know?
Okay, hold
guess-
on. Rickets, a bone growth disorder caused by vitamin D or calcium deficiency, can lead to bow legs. Wow, you see? You see what Phaedra teaches us? I have knock knees, so that's why I am into bow-legged guys, because it's like the other side. You know, it's the other yard. The grass is always greener. The knees are always less knockier.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but people really like they're into bow-legged. I had a friend once who was bow-legged, and this other guy came up to me and was like, yeah, those bow-legged. Ooh, I love that bow-legged man. I was like, what?
It's hot.
I was like, I don't quite like. I'm not taking it away. I just don't. I don't understand. Like, it's not something that ever like was on my checklists. So it's like a weird thing. I'm like, really? I don't think
Now
I'm.
looking
I
up.
also don't think I have a very good bow-legged dar. I'm really bad at seeing. I would have a hard time seeing if someone's bow-legged. It's weird.
No, you can see, because it's not just a thigh gap. It's like a thigh arch.
Yeah.
A thigh.
Is it like a?
vagina? Like
'cause-
it's a thigh
Yeah.
opening.
Is it because it kind of looks like you're riding a horse, and so maybe that's what makes it hot? It's kind of
Yeah.
like a cowboy thing.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's just hot. It's just like because I don't like my knock knees, you know. So I'm like, what did you do that Jesus loves you? And I'm knock kneed. You're bow legged. So yeah. So they're talking about jib jab. So rude. They're talking about jab jab now, and explaining what it is and stuff. And they have to wear oil all over their bodies and jab horns. And it's a form of protest. And it normally starts at 6 a.m. And they're going to do it at night for the ladies, which is wise. It's wise. It's going to be
That's
much
gonna be
better.
a whole big thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
big jab thing. And then meanwhile, Drew and Shamia are talking, and actually, sorry, Kelly and Drew are talking, and they're realizing they have the same wedding anniversary, and on top of that, they've been married for about the same amount of time, and on top of that, they're both divorcing.
Isn't that crazy? Like, oh my God, the same wedding anniversary? That's crazy. So Phaedra goes, that's not a good sign. Forrest is like, yeah, because they're both in the same boat. So and Phaedra goes, yeah, and the boat sunk. There was a man with
Yeah.
rickets on that boat. I fucked that man with rickets on a boat.
Well, every boat does have a bow. Wordplay would have been better if it was written, because they are pronounced differently in person. So then Drew is saying that she was actually planning on doing a vow renewal, which I'm like, okay, so Drew, you did cause the divorce because you said vow renewal and now you precipitated the end of your marriage. Congratulations. I'm just glad she actually, for once, the order was proper, which is the divorce before the vow renewal, as opposed to the vow renewal and then the divorce a year later.
Yeah. So they talk about their divorces on board. So then Portia's like,
Okay, you guys, I'll be right back. I have something very exciting to show you. This is an amazing moment of Portia being a good person. Because I'm the kind of friend that if you're going through something, I want you to feel good about yourself. And that's why I'm letting Shamia wear my Snuffleupagus hat.
okay.
She literally says
Wow.
that. She's like,
What a
I'm letting
giver.
her wear my hat and taking a photo of her. Wow. You really,
Wow.
you know what? She really does show up as a friend sometimes. She really does.
You basically are the charity in Grenada. Somebody give Britt her toilet paper back. Portia's won this one.
So they have this little photo shoot thing, and it's, it's nice. It's, it's fine. And now we have Kelly. She's in her room, and she's calling Bobby, her divorce lawyer. And she's just talking about, like, how this is going. She's overwhelmed, and she talks about how going through a divorce is one of the most difficult things that you ever have to do, aside from cleaning a waffle iron. Very, very difficult. But, she's like, I hate that it's come to Grenada with me because the purpose of me coming here is to reset and have my moment. But then again, it's also my only storyline that I've got going on, and I have to keep my storylines going through this vacation. So, oh well.
Yeah, so she's telling the lawyer. So yeah, and also we bought a lot to build a home, and it was an anniversary gift that he technically gifted me, but then I heard he sold that lot to a friend. And the lawyer's like, well, do you have a deed for the lot? Like, can we see who owns it now? And she's like, well, he gave me the document and like a card, but I don't know. Like, I don't even know where the paperwork is. So I don't know. Now there's lots missing. And did he buy that with her money? Was that a gift with her money?
Is there not a DocuSign in the cloud somewhere? Come on. So then Kelly is like, she's saying how he's not making it easy on her, and she does a really good job of hiding it because she doesn't want her kids to ever. Honestly, I didn't really listen to this scene. I'm gonna say because it's been the same scene for like the whole season. I want to see her making.
I've had enough
waffles,
divorce.
Yeah,
I know
it's like, I get
divorces
it.
don't happen in 5 minutes, but I don't need them talked about 45 minutes out of every episode. I
don't-
think I'm
it's
done.
a- it's
I'm
a-
done with your divorce. Okay, I'm
It's
over
an
it.
off-camera drama with someone I don't know and I've never met and I don't care about. So I just know you're going through divorce. My heart goes out for you. This cannot be your A story. Okay, I'm telling you, I truly want to watch her make waffles. I'm not just saying this because I got a waffle iron. It's like I would literally prefer to watch her making waffles in her restaurant than I would listening about this divorce.
Well, and also in this episode, we're getting a little bit of the stylist thing, but they're not confronting each other about it. It's like they're both, Britt and Kelly are both, it's like they agreed to not come for each other about this stylist thing. So they're talking their way around it. And you guys are too new to be doing that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like Housewives' 5th season when you're trying to hide storylines and you've agreed to keep certain things off
Correct.
camera and blah, blah, blah. And your first season, and that's not a good sign that you guys are already hiding storylines. I don't like it.
Yeah.
And now I have to
So
hear about your
now-
divorce this whole time. You guys keep repeating the same old bullshit over and over instead of talking about what's really going on. And I think that that's not great. It's not a great sign for a reboot, you know?
Well, while Kelly tries to keep a storyline in the dark, something has come forward from the ether. Shamia's luggage. It has returned. Shamia finally got her luggage, and she's like, yes, I finally have my looks again. And so she puts on these boots, and she's ready for jab jab. And they're like, yeah, you can't wear that. I was like, she waited an entire vacation to finally be able to wear her own clothes. They're like, don't wear that to the jab jab. It's gonna get ruined.
Yeah, because they have to be throwaway clothes, you know? They're going to be covered in oil. And
She has Chanel rain boots.
Yeah, and Britt's like, I mean, any clothes you have to throw away, like the shoes are done no matter what you do. And Phaedra's like, I know you're rich. You're very, very wealthy. Now, go change. She's like, okay. fine."
You've proven your point. Get out of these Chanel wellies and put on some boots from Marshalls, okay?
Yeah.
Cynthia is FaceTiming with Amsterdam, which is her man, and she's showing that she's made like little condoms for her braids. She has them like in like fabric so that way they are protected from the oil, which is funny. They're like little little elephant trunks in their bags, and Amsterdam's like, wow, great. So now
everybody's making like little videos for Jab Jab and Insta posts and stuff like that. And then it's time to get on the bus and go to Jab Jab. So now we're with Shamia, Cynthia, Drew, and Angela in one car. And it's shot o'clock. It's shot o'clock. Shamia, it's shot o'clock. It's always shot o'clock with Shamia.
I think I'm done with shot o'clock. I think I think time is up for shot o'clock.
Can we divorce
just
shot
realized.
o'clock? Okay, it's time for our divorce storyline.
Shot o'clock is over. It's officially dead. I never would have noticed it except that when she said that shot o'clock is her thing, that's of course put it on my radar. And I'm like, okay, your shot o'clock has 15 minutes of fame for me, and now shot o'clock is expired.
Yeah. So Kelly's got horns on, and Portia's like,
You're single and those are haters, you know, like those men don't come close, you know. And we're single, okay?
and Phaedra's like, those are cock blockers. I wouldn't wear those horns. And Kelly's like, Jab Jab is going to be the liberation that the doctors ordered for me because divorce is really hard. I've been going through a divorce. It's been so difficult. I hope that Jab Jab can liberate me from divorce. Girl.
I want to pour some oil on this divorce storyline right now. Can we send it off? Send it off to the ocean. So they're all talking about how, like, oh my God, I want my man to be obsessed with me. I want him to like touch me and kiss me and give me gifts and da 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 da. And then Phaedra's saying she doesn't like people touching her toes and yada yada. And they're just like talking about guys, and they're just like horned up because they're about to see a whole bunch of like hot Caribbean men like covered in shiny oil. So they're ready. They're ready to get their lady boners on.
Yeah, so then Shamia's in her car recording a selfie video with all the ladies, and she's like, this is what 8 years of marriage look like. Oh my gosh, I'm right behind her with the 7 years. They want to be scooped up by some men. I hope that they can get some men. And meanwhile, Portia's like,
Fucking feet, right? Like, I had a guy who dated feet. Like, you ever tried to jerk off somebody with your feet?
okay, just go to Jab Jab. So
Just go to
now
Jab
we
Jab.
go to this festival that's crazy.
It
And
looks
cool.
so fun.
Yeah, it
looks
really did. And they
so
really
fun.
do cover themselves in black oil.
And and it was actually visually amazing because everyone's in this like shiny dark black oil, but then it's like night, and so there's like these sort of neon highlights everywhere shining off of everyone, and it was kind of like, it felt like Bacchanalia, and it kind of looked like the sort of thing where, you know, I don't like to get myself dirty, but sometimes you sort of, when you give yourself over and you're like, fuck it, I'm just covered in oil, like that. It looked great. But man, I feel so bad for all the taxis on Grenada because there's a lot of dirty, oily seats. A lot of taxis got ruined that night.
Yeah, a lot of hotel rooms. We see it covering the hotel room the next day. It's everywhere.
The service industry must not like Jab Jab. They're like, oh, fuck. Pre-order the bleach.
Yeah, so Portia and Phaedra dance with the same man, and Phaedra's like, I'm Christian. Oh my God, I'm pregnant. We got the same baby daddy. Got us all pregnant. And she's like, wow, thank God I got my ring in. Gosh, he's a devil's minion, that man.
Yeah, they're really going all in, you know? And so there's party, jab, 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 jab. Lots of jab, jab. And then finally they leave. And so now it's the next day, and we see like all like their jab, jab outfits that just in little piles around. We see Portia's jab, jab butt print on the wall. We see like soiled sheets. It's a lot of cleanup.
Yeah, it's a lot. So now they're packing to go, and Cynthia has an electric blanket because she gets cold. And wait, who has an electric? Someone does. And Cynthia's like, in Grenada, you need an electric blanket. So Britt's like,
Okay, let's go. Anybody have the Jab Jab hats?
basically, look, let me tell you something about this episode, audience. It was really fun to watch, but literally nothing happened in this.
Nothing happened. Like we were literally sitting here like,
I'm trying
we're
to
not
go through
hating
these
on
notes
it.
until something happens, but nothing happened. But it was it
Yeah.
was a fun episode to watch.
Fun
So,
episode. Like I was cracking up the entire time, but yeah, nothing really happened.
Yeah, so now they're laughing
Jab.
about how the cleanup, like some ladies cleaned up better than other ladies from the oil because there's still oil everywhere. And Britt's like,
Well, I mean, I see these ladies, and clearly you do not shower properly. I mean,
and Phaedra goes, oh yeah, Britt came to my room. You know how after you have your baby, the midwife comes in and scrubs your back and just gives you that like little bath. That's how she was scrubbing me. She's like,
I scrubbed every inch of her body.
I felt like I had a baby.
I was like, bend over, spread your cheeks. You're going to feel violated.
That sounds intense. I just love Britt saying like some of these ladies don't know how to shower properly. I love when Britt attempts to like make herself seem like she is a proper lady and everyone else is just like garbage. Like when she was like, I don't do shots.
That's for like sluts in college. Okay, I know how to shower properly.
Oh, settle down, Britt.
So they talk about getting the oil off and stuff like that. And now let's talk about Kelly's divorce. So Drew's like, so how'd the meeting with your attorney go? And so she's like, well, yeah, I had to talk to my attorney because I'm getting a divorce. It's very painful. It's a divorce. So that's rough. And she's like, you know, guys, look how bad my divorce is. It broke the talking crystal.
Yes. I stood up and the crystal broke in half, and she holds it up and they're like, oh my God. Like, what does that symbolize? Well, I Googled it because I was so upset, and it symbolizes the end of a relationship. And like, oh my God. I'm like, you realize this is the end of the relationship with Britt. This is not the end of the relationship with the ex, because that relationship is over. This is the Britt symbol here.
Yeah, you already knew about the other one.
Yes.
So she's like, I'm going to throw this crystal in the ocean. So help me release this crystal. So they go litter together, which is really nice. And Kelly's like, you know, I'm just going to leave all this anxiety and everything pertaining to court in Grenada. I wouldn't, because you got court like next week.
Yeah, it's not going to stay in Grenada. It's coming back. And then she's like, I just pray that when we get back to Atlanta, we can continue the sisterhood. I'm like, you're on the Real Housewives. Bravo will not let that happen. And then we see 72 hours later, Kelly goes, guys, I'm not divorced. I'm like, yeah, no shit.
For fuck's sake.
Of course you weren't divorced. There you just entered new evidence into this thing about him selling the land. Of course you're not divorced.
And he went to jail today, she adds. What the hell? But we don't find out why. And then we see a fast forward. And Angela's asking Kelly how she is with Britt. And she's like, I haven't spoken with Britt since Grenada. Fast forward, fast forward.
She showed me text messages between the two of you guys.
And then cuts to Phaedra in her car. And she's like, well, just hold on to your panties. Some man had word for Angela. Your husband is cheating. Dun, dun, dun. Then we just see Mimosa humping a pillow in the background.
And then we come back to Grenada, and they're like, yay, sisterhood. Crystal's been thrown in the ocean. Yay. So that trip is over. Wasn't the most thrilling trip, but, you know, it was a funny episode. And now we have the home stretch before some sort of crazy event wherein they accuse Charles Oakley of cheating at some gala, and Angela gets mad. So it's a slow march to that. And that was the episode.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you guys Thursday night in Los Angeles, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.